Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have 3 A's to deal with, but I do also have the blank. And I don't quite see a 7 here, but perhaps there is an 8 through an available floater. 3A bingos with a V. My opponent plays wild, so just wondering if any of these letters assist. Availing, not quite. I have Ava onto the W. That seems to sort the rack out fairly well. Vigia. No, I want to get rid of... I'll go with Ava for 13. Okay, that looks a little closer. I have ideating through the D. Do I have anything through the A? That would be a 5-vowel 8. A gerine through an R or an E. A gerine. So through the E I have a gerine. Do I have anything through the S? Stearine. Very nice by opponent there. And the other question is, do I have a 7 with an S? Agenetic through a T or a C. Wild, I don't suppose there'd be anything from that I there. 3 I's very unlikely. A gerine seems fine because it does get the word doubled. Or do I have a parallel play? Just looking at the ing ending. No, I think a gerine seems fine for 66. I draw the X and the Z for score. Phlox is good, I believe. So is there a good spot for Phlox? There certainly is. I suspect this spot might be taken. Does create a fairly hot spot underneath Axe, which is a consideration as well. I only have the 1 vowel, so restricted with what I can do with this rack. Is there a way of getting rid of the Z and the X in one hit? Well, Zex, but that can't be best. I think I'll go with Phlox for 54. That's a little bit better in terms of vowel consonant balance. Just thinking of zeitgeist, but not quite the letters for that one. I have the size component and gaziest through an A. Sits is good, I think. Sits for 39. Do I have a hot play through this L? That'd be nice with the Z on the triple, and then I can't see a play there. The other hot spot would be across here. Zeit doesn't take an S. It's only Zitties that does. So maybe across here, Sizer would score okay, I guess. 45 points, decent rack leave. Says over here for 38. Pretty good rack leave, keeping the I. Milch, okay. Opponent scores fairly well with that one. Has he blocked my... Oh, well, I guess I have size down here, or Zeit, but I wouldn't mind undoubling the S. That would be 43, and it also takes out the hot spot. 43, am I happy with that? The other option would be a lot more volatile. 50. No, that can't be better. I'm going with size for 43. Not a great pickup. I do draw the second blank, which is great, but apart from the ST, the rest of the rack very clunky, and not many vowels available to play through in any way that would score. So play a Vig certainly wouldn't be worth doing, because it still leaves a preponderance of consonants. I don't have an N for going at the end of Chi. I do have a G here. Okay, opponent does provide a vowel, but still nothing worth doing in this situation. Yeah, it's time to change. So we'll get rid of the V, the G, the D, and I think the P possibly as well, although there is some good synergy with the P. Yeah, there's another P to come as well, so I think I'll get rid of the P as well, just in case I double it. Okay, I've got a fair few E's to work with now. Definitely a better rack. I have the I-E-S-T ending. So gleetiest, but that would be an 8. Oh, sorry, a 9. Okay, opponent does close down bingo lanes. E-jested, I believe, is good. Does that play anywhere? It does. Plays here. Just looking if it plays there as well. E-jested almost plays there. I think we'll go with it here. E-jested for one out. E-jested there for 75. I draw a fairly balanced rack, which is good because I'm looking at this. The spot here is very hot. Can't quite get in, or actually I should be able to with C-double-E. Can't seem to extend it much with, I don't have a consonant for going under the O unless a C-Y-E play, but Syed, no, can't see that working. Where can my Y play to good effect? MY only takes a C at the end of it, so I would need an O to get my Y to play twice. How are the scores? Very close, only 10 points. Milch, does Milch take? Milch, no. Syed, what else can I muster from this rack? Gleeted, so what to do? The Y. I guess I have eyed here. Eyed for 24. It's not, doesn't seem like it's best. Again, I need the O for ye go. So maybe it is worth hanging on to the Y just for a few more moves, because there is a good Y spot there, but I still would require an O. I know there's a ton of O's to come, so it might be worth keeping the Y. I don't know what's best here. I really do seem to need to use the Y to score. Maybe a play of Glay. It's a pretty decent rack leave, and it does frustrate that bingo lane a bit. Yeah, I'm going with Glay for 23. Doesn't give too much back to opponent. I do draw the J for score. I do have Jot here, which would also take out a bingo lane, particularly ones ending in T. Decent rack leave, 30 points, not a bad score. Any BAJ plays? No, can't see. Jot still plays nicely there. Oda. I'm just thinking of Cajon would be nice, but I don't have the N. Which other? Oh, I do have Jota, but it doesn't actually get doubled. 31. It frustrates. Actually, I do have a D for Dado. I didn't contemplate that either. Adjo, Taj, Kaj, Koj. I'm still leaning towards Jot because the score's decent and the rack leave is pretty good. I can't see a very strong J spot apart from that. Yeah, I'm going with Jot for 30. Oceaned, is that a word? I don't think so, actually. Maybe oceaned, no. Acone, Dracone, Acorn, Eco, I have the Eco prefix. Just looking if this hotspot here, Coed, that's one way to sort the rack out and score well. If that doesn't get taken now, I can't see it lasting much longer because it's a very good scoring spot. Oceaned, I'll give it a go because we're playing Void Challenge, but I don't hold out much hope for it being it. No, it just looks too unfamiliar to me to be a word. Let's try it. No, didn't think so. So Coed's still my favoured play, and I think I'll go for this to preserve time. Double N, not good. Clanner, not sure about Clanner. Someone who exists as part of a clan. No, sounds a bit of a stretch. Front hooks for Adu, apart from Dado. So, Sado. Sado might be double D actually. Sado, so I don't think the S hook is available there. I do now have the C hook for MY, but C, yeah, can't seem to get down to the AD because I'd need another D or an O. So that's maybe something through the D. Backade, no. Axel and Lack, maybe. I don't like that double N with another 2 to come. But 25, I guess, is not a bad score on a tight board. Canny. What does that do for me? It expedites the end of the game. Tile turnover. But I don't know if really it provides an A and an N floater. Clanner, I can't see Clanner being good, but I'll give it a quick go. Nah. Rancel is good. What does Rancel do for the board? There's a H to come, so that'll be a hot spot. No, I'm not going to do that. Rancel, I don't even know if that one's spelled that way. What about Canal? Oh, no, it's not. I'm thinking of Carnal, Cranal. No, so that one's not going to work. Alright, do I go with Lack? It just keeps the score rolling along. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. And I didn't actually. I should have had a closer look at the vowel consonant pool, and it's heavily weighted towards consonants. So I should have thought about that, but that's all right. What have we got here? K. Kern, I guess, would sort the duplicates out and hopefully draw some vowels. Just looking down there, nothing to go after IT. Atterbury, okay. Perk seems okay. I don't think it gives back too much, but yeah, I like Perk for 38. Or do I have any strong K plays elsewhere? Like maybe Kep. No, Kep isn't good. No, it's Keb. That's good. Well, it's a bit volatile, but or do I play through the A? That's another option. So something like Rank, Pankop, Parker. Well, I like Perk only because it undoubles the R with 2 to come, and also it scores very well, 38. That was an awful pickup, absolutely awful, at a time when I really needed some balance. I just couldn't see a better scoring play. So that might be my undoing. Can I score through the E? Well, that's the end of that game. So opponent had the rack, and congratulations to him in getting that one down. But yeah, that looks like the end of the game. Now it's just about maintaining some kind of damage control is what I was trying to get at. So can't play through there, down to my last minute. Wero, I guess. Wero's. This is my last move anyway. So opponent will surely be going out with HOR. So yeah, a bit of an unfortunate end to the game there for me. I mean, I don't think I could have foreseen. I had to go for score rarely in that situation. So congratulations to my opponent. Good game. Final score 475 to 403. Let's have a look at what we missed. So we'll go back to the beginning of the game. Wild seemed okay for opponent, and then Ava. AGA is suggested by the analyzer. AIV blank probably bingos more often than AGI blank. Hence the oh, and of course the score. Yeah, maybe it's not that it bingos more often, but yeah, I think it probably bingos similar amount of the time. But definitely a better score for AGA. I just wanted to get rid of that V. So trainees for opponent, he went with stearine, 82. for a double-double. Agerine seemed okay. That was my play. Chi for 28 was opponent. Cymar for 39 at 8A. Okay. Cymar, C-Y-M-A-R. Nice. That's not a word you see every day. And then retaining the BIQ. I suppose there were QI spots on the next turn and the QIIS for opponent as well. So it wasn't like he didn't have Q options. There's another one there. So pretty good, but he decided to dispatch of the Q and scored pretty well. 28, so nothing wrong with that. Flock seemed best, that was my play, and then Milch for opponent, 36 points. Balmy also good at B10 through the L, so similar placement. Zests for 48 at 4A. Yeah, I did think about leaving the Z out in the open there, but decided it was just unnecessarily volatile. Yeah, it seemed to give back too much. The Z is such a flexible tile nowadays, and there's so many Z, 4 and 5 letter Z words, that opponent's almost certainly going to cancel out that 48-point score. So I decided to err on the side of safety. I went for 43, not as good a rack leave as GIS, but a lot safer. So I went with size. Roomba seemed okay for 27. Opponent's play, but Morby at 12k was a touch better, although it did leave the Y hanging out in the trip lane. And I exchanged, that seems best. Vig for 10 points through the I. I did consider it, but just too vulnerable to a consonant pickup. There was the A available to utilize, but short of that vowel, not many other vowels to pick up, so I thought not worth the risk for 10 points. And opponent went with Yad, that seems okay. E-Jested was my play, seems okay as well. Alf for opponent, also the top score. Glay for 23, Tig for 30 at F9. Ah, of course. Perfect play. Sorted out the heaviness of the consonants, and a pretty decent rack leave. Good score. DET probably slightly better than the DEEGL rack leave. Yeah, very similar equities, but a little bit better score, so I still like TIG, but not much wrong with Glay. And then Acneed for 35. There we go. That was that hot spot I kept on harping on about. And opponent did have a 35-point play through that, but opted for a do for 15 to sort out the vowel consonant balance. Excellent rack leave, so kudos to him for that. And then Jot, yeah, that was my play, seems fine. Opponent, the double O for 15 left as good a rack leave as he was going to leave there, especially with only one U to come but 3 O's. So analyzer says get rid of those O's, and he went with OU, so not far behind. Coed seems best. I went with that one. and then opponent, one of the top scores with Tog. Rancel is the one I did contemplate, and Analyzer does have it as the winningest play in that scenario. LN, Lack for 25. Oh, but H1. Oh, Rancel, and I was thinking of playing it there, and then I didn't contemplate playing it onto the L, because the C would have got doubled and the whole word tripled. So that was a miss. 8 points shipped. And then perfect, yeah, Atterburn for opponent that played for an extra point at M2 over there, and he played it at M4. Ah, he got the overlap, but he didn't get the double, yeah, the double word. So not much in at 1 point. That was his play, and then Perk was mine for 38, but 6 fewer points with Prank at 4k. That's here. But it gives back a fair bit, I would say, with the K being there. A pretty flexible pool of tiles. Opponent's almost certainly going to get a 30-point play back, or possibly more. So, yeah, I mean, leaving the P there or the K, not a huge amount in it. I just thought go for score, try outrun opponent. But it so happened that he had Poutine on his rack, which went down pretty swiftly. And then I was just dealing with damage control with this god-awful rack. Ritz for 22. Where was that? 9C. Okay. Through there, and then pluralizing. Yep, I should have maybe just taken a few more moments to identify that one. The game was lost, obviously, at that stage, but opponent then went out with Row for 22. So, pretty good game, all in all. Came down to our last couple of racks, I think, but for the most part, both myself and my opponent seemed to identify most of the top plays as per the analyzer suggestion. So hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.